everyone. We're at Better Business Bureau. The show is called Sharing, BBB Sharing. And this podcast is going to be about infinite
abilities counseling.
I was waiting for you to jump in because this is not real formal, even though we're on camera and recording, we're going to have a little fun, okay?
I love that.
So she picked up pretty good, didn't she, Nicole?
Yes.
So the one thing is we want to make sure you speak straight into the microphone.
Got it.
And do not rock like I'm doing,
Okay.
because when I do, my voice is going up and down,
All right.
and it makes it bad. But Aryn Jentz is here. She's going to talk about her company. My name is Barry Moore, and we have Nicole Pratt here from the Better Business Bureau. And we're going to not bombard Aryn with a lot of questions, but we're going to go civilly through a conversation for the audience to learn about infinite abilities counseling. So with that, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. Like you said, my name is Aryn Jentz. I have been in this field since, 2011. Done a bunch of different things and landed in private practice full-time since 2022.
Wow.
Excited to be here.
Anybody watching on the video is going to say, how have you been in business so long? Because you look very young.
Oh, man. Well,
So
thank
you must have started in like 8th grade or something,
you.
because
Good,
yeah.
man.
And you were accredited recently
Yes.
with the Better Business Bureau. How did you find the Better Business Bureau?
Oh, great question. Well, marketing. So just honestly Googled what are some great ways to market a mental health practice. Did a few things, came across some actually other therapy practices who had the BBB logo. And I was like, I don't know if I'm too small to do this. So I reached out. I think I spoke with Nicole and went from
That's
there.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're never too small. One person or 100,000, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So tell us, first of all, about you. What
Sure.
should people know before they come to use your services? And we're going to get into that. We got to be comfortable with you.
Sure.
So make people comfortable. Who are you?
Who am I? Okay, let's see. Well, I'm a mom. I have two boys and I have three step kiddos, so five total. Yep, lots of kiddos. I know.
All boys?
No, 4 boys and 1 girl.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. Yep, lots of boy energy though. So ages 9 through 20. Yep. So grew up in the country, still live out on a farm out in near Hanover, Louisa line. So I love being outdoors, all things nature, love reading. But things about me, I am married. Love to read. What is important about me, I guess, or why I started?
Probably why you got into this field,
Why I got
because you're
into this
dealing
field,
with
yeah.
individuals.
Sure.
Do they need help? Are they
Yep.
coming there for
Great question.
fun, or just to
For
tell
fun.
mom they're going? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are they coming to you? So that's important.
I think that actually this is a good opportunity, I think, to look at the name of my business. So Infinite Abilities Counseling.
Yes.
Yes. So my story starts, I'm a sibling of a younger brother with pretty severe disabilities. And then ended up being a mom to a kiddo with autism and intellectual disabilities. And so the name, I feel very strongly about this, Infinite Abilities. I think we all have infinite abilities to do whatever, right? We don't all have to be the same. I think that's so important. And honestly, when I started out in therapy, in 2011, there was a pretty big divide, honestly, between mental health services and all things intellectual and developmental disability services. And there was not a whole lot of crossover. But what we know with folks with any kind of, different neurotypes, autism, ADHD, intellectual disabilities is they also have anxiety, guys, right? They also have depression, they have trauma. And I really feel deeply that it is important for folks in the mental health field to be able to work with those populations as well. And so that was my passion. That's why I started being able to offer good therapy to folks with ADHD or autism, any kind of disability. And so that is the core of my practice. That's what I'm really passionate about. We also do a lot of trauma work as well. So we go into, other populations as well, but that is my passion.
And what kind of therapy do you do?
Yeah. So, have you heard of EMDR?
I have.
You have? No?
You haven't?
So, it stands for, oh my gosh, I hope I get this right. That's be embarrassing. Eye movement desensitization. desensitization reprocessing. So it's amazing. I am trained in it and actually currently working on being certified. There we go. And so what's awesome about it is that you can clear so much trauma in a much faster period of time than traditional talk therapy. It allows you to reprocess trauma without reliving it, which is really great because I don't know, anyone with trauma, man, you don't want to go back to that. You don't want to relive that, but you want to be able to move past it. So that is actually my favorite modality, but also do CBT. I think pretty common nowadays, cognitive behavioral therapy, IFS, internal family systems. We do a little play therapy for the kiddos. I do work with kiddos 6 and older, all the way up into, adulthood. Yeah, those are the main things we use, and, some mindfulness and meditation type work.
Is there ever a time that people should not ask for help or to get services? Do I get to an age and I don't need you?
No.
Do you find that people are comfortable with that, or do they think you're not going to be able to help them? Or do you want to get that message out that that's important?
I honestly, I don't think you need to have trauma. I don't think you need to have anxiety or depression to seek out therapy. I honestly think just basic coping skills can help anyone and everyone live a more authentic and relaxed and happy life. So no, a values-driven life I feel like should be a good goal for everybody. And I think, talking to someone is always helpful.
How do I know I need to talk to somebody?
Oh, well, again, I think anyone could benefit, but when you should, I believe, really consider seeking out therapy is, if you start noticing you don't feel like yourself, right? Maybe, you're having some of those physical symptoms, what we call like somatic symptoms, right? A lot of people might feel anxiety, like shakiness, or, your stomach, or you're having some GI upset, or, things like that.
Do you have a common denominator when people come to you? You've been doing it X amount of years, but you have a lot of experience because every story is different.
Sure.
But there's probably a thread. Is there anything that you could say if folks could deal with A, life could be better for them?
Folks could deal with A.
Or B,
Or B or C.
Yeah, whatever,
All the
yeah.
things.
Right, is there one common thread? Way they grew up? Is it the way their spouse or relationships?
Honestly, I feel like self-acceptance is so important. It's hard to work on almost anything, right? If you're not comfortable with who you are, right? If you don't believe in yourself, or if there's no self-love, how do you put that out to the universe, right? How do you have a great marriage? How do you have a great relationship? How do you do great at work, right? How do you focus on all these other goals if that foundation isn't strong? I think we mentioned that earlier before we got started today, right? That foundation of that safety, that stability, that self-love, that you are rooted.
So statistically, we're talking to accredited businesses right now, as well as we'll call them consumers or I guess that's not the right word, but citizens, let's use it broadly. We're talking to human beings right now.
I like that one.
Whoever listens to this podcast and this story, that common thread, let's talk about the workplace, because that's what we work and focus on.
Sure.
Our accredited businesses, one owner, one employee, or 50 employees. They have people they care about. They open every day, right? So what you had just said with the employee has to feel secure. I'm not paraphrasing you the right way,
No,
but because this is new to me, but I'm anxious for you to share that in a way, if I'm explaining it the right way. How can employees help themselves first versus their employer? Because everybody, right, we focus on business. That's all I care about, right, as the boss.
Yeah.
I got my investment in it.
Yeah.
I have goals. But if the employee, once they're hired, I don't know anything about them. They've got to care about themselves.
Yeah.
We were talking about this the other day, starting off the new year, looking in the mirror, being comfortable, realize that you're important. You have a job role, you're important, and you have to follow that process. Most cannot. So is that the reason why they don't see themselves the
Oh, man.
importance or no? And I know you can't do it in 30 seconds, but good luck.
30 seconds.
I asked the questions. You give the answers.
Oh, man.
You're the expert.
Oh, man. Okay. So, one thing that I find, I don't know if this is exactly what you're looking for, so please redirect me.
Oh, very out there, right?
Okay,
So
very out there.
you answer it the way you think I think.
One thing I see in common, and actually we work with a lot of folks, like first responders,
Mhm.
is that work becomes their identity, right? And that, a lot of folks forget that their home life is just as important, or actually more important, quite frankly, than their career. And so we spend so much time at work, right? We invest so much time in whether it's education or, building that resume to get to the pinnacle of like, what is your dream job, right? And so then you pour all your time, your effort, your energy into work. And I think we forget about ourselves. We forget about the self-care. Try asking an adult, what do you do for fun? Especially an adult with kiddos, and they're going to just look at you, right? That's a common question, actually. We ask in assessments, right? When you're going through and you're doing the biopsychosocial, and you get to that part, and you're like, tell me, what do you do in your downtime? And they just look at you. What do you mean, what do I do? Like, I go to work, I raise kids, I clean my house, I walk my dog, and it's like, well, okay. Well, let's get back to that.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, and then people say, well, I don't have time to do that. And I'm going to call BS. That's actually one thing. I am not a blank slate therapist. I'm going to, show up authentically. And I, hope that, through building that rapport that folks I work with will also, eventually feel comfortable and build that relationship and be able to show up authentically. But getting back to basics. What do you enjoy doing for fun? What does your nervous system need to relax and feel safe, right? It's not all about work. It's not all about making money. Life is short. What do you enjoy doing?
It's a great answer. You're very easy to talk to, so
Okay.
that makes it
Great.
infinite is the right name, right? And
Yeah.
we have the card here, and you really, I can see you have a long career ahead of you because you're going to be very successful.
Thank you.
And I think with the accreditation of the business, we'll work together. And I think some of the topics you can talk about can be shared here in the office when we show you around. I'm sure Nicole has done that or will do that. And meeting our employees and stuff like that, because the one thing I do every day is I open a business and we're a nonprofit. And all I ask everybody since I started in my 20s is that everybody comes to work to be their best. Everybody lives their life to be their best. And that is misconfused or misunderstood because it always comes down to the word you said, money. It's irrelevant. The money's irrelevant.
Right.
If I ever went,
like we need money to survive.
I came up really needing money, and today I've done well because I never went to work for money.
Right.
I care about the people, I care about the client, and I have a sense of urgency. I don't have a lot of my temperament goes pretty quick, and people have a hard time with that. But I think you can help us down the line. We'll talk about that. Nicole, I'll give you one more question.
I do have one question. If you could tell, whether it be business owners or employees, one thing, what would that one thing be based off of what you do for work?
Yeah. Well, since we are at the BBB, right? Maybe we go the route of business owners.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Invest in your employees. And I don't mean financially. I mean, talk to them, get to know them, right? Yes, you are the business owner. Yes, you need to hire employees to do a job. But, show them your humanity, right? Show them your authenticity, and they'll feel comfortable to maybe show you theirs and also live a more authentic, like I said, value-driven life. And if they can do that on their own, they're going to show up for you so much more. They're going to show up for you. Their productivity is going to increase. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, we're all human, right?
Your testimonial about the coffee.
It's so good. Oh my gosh, it's
The Better
amazing.
Business Bureau.
Yes, and they have
Cold.
fancy water as well.
You do got cucumber water.
Yes, I'm gonna try that.
Pretty good.
Changes.
I love it.
Well, thank you. We're going to be on BBB Sharing, Infinite Abilities Counseling, Aryn Jentz. Pleasure to meet you. I've enjoyed this time and wish everybody a great day, and please share out the podcast. Thank you.